Here we go. Perfect. So I see already lots of our partners starting to chime in, and I'm gonna have our existing partners, our new partners, and we also have our colleagues, not only from channels. We have our colleagues from sales department. We have our colleagues from marketing department. Today we have a special topic to discuss, and I'm very excited to get this marketplace circle started. It's 10:02 here in Boston, Massachusetts, and I would like to say good morning and welcome. Welcome everyone to our marketplace circle today. For some partners who are new and for the first time with us, my name is Alex. I'm SVP of Partnership and Alliance at Creatio, and it's my pleasure to greet everyone here, my partners, again, my colleagues from sales, marketing, and I'm very glad to greet you all here from cold Boston, Massachusetts. You see behind me, we're covered with snow. And today we have a very, despite of the cold weather, very warm session. We have a very special circle talking about the new ways and how to bring the integration excellence of our platform to a completely new level with the help of our partners that I'll present shortly. All right, but before we start, can you all confirm in chat that you see the screen and that you hear me loud and clear so I can go to the first slides? If you can, and by the way, if you have a moment and you're not very busy, right, where you're connecting us from today, from which country or from which state if you are in the US. All right, so marketplace circle. By the way, marketing team, if you can just let the people in, I see reminders for myself to admit, if you can just let everyone in. We don't have any restrictions. So we don't have any restrictions because it's an informal event. Marketplace circle, it's a partner-only global initiative. We don't have clients on this call. And we allow our partners to exchange the best practices, how to make our clients happy by implementing Creatio, developing new solutions and apps on Creatio platform. We have different type of circles. We have marketing and sales where we're sharing the best practice on how to generate leads together. And we have a separate circle coming up in April. We have the best practices on how to implement Creatio customer success. And today we have a marketplace circle. Like we're talking about most wanted or popular applications at the marketplace. Open questions to Creatio creators, the guys who created our new applications. And today, we're excited to have a very interesting topic about integration. Before we move forward, a quick reminder, and you've seen already a thing in all the channels from Creatio site, March 12, 2024, literally very soon, we would like to invite you to our digital showcast about the power of Gen AI and no-code. And we're going to talk about this new full connecting element of Gen AI and no-code technologies at the Creatio. We'll explore out-of-the-box use cases that will be available from our product, and we'll talk about all the questions related how AI can boost the speed to create new applications and delivery cycles with Creatio. If you haven't registered yet, here's the QR code. Join us for this show, and you'll discover with us these new capabilities of new Creatio Copilot. And we are excited about this one on the May 12th. At the same time, March 12th, my apologies, March 12th. And on May 9th and 10th, we have our no-code days in Florida. And I would like to thank lots of partners who already registered for our event. We're running it again in Miami. We'll have the full resort all for us. And it's going to be amazing. 2 or 3 days together, 2 official days, but we always have pre-parties before, after parties afterwards. All resort is ours. All golf pitches there will be ours. We would like you to come there with your colleagues, with your families, with just have a good time with us together and all our partner and client community. Don't forget to register in advance. There are some still special rates for the hotel, for the flights. Don't waste your time. And as we know that the number of partners who registered and booked already the hotel is quite big. But without any further ado, let's get started on our marketplace circle. Today we have special guests, and it's my pleasure to welcome Chris Williamson, the Senior Leadership of company Workato, with us here for the first time. Chris, welcome to our event. How are you doing? Chris, you're on mute.
Sorry, I was on mute there, Alex. So first one to slip up. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Great to catch up. Nice to meet everybody on the call, and really looking forward to giving a good explanation around how Creatio and Workato are a better together solution.
Thank you, Chris. We'll talk about it a bit later. We also have Solutions Metrix with us today. We have Harjot and Federica. We're going to talk today about interesting topic of integrating Jack Henry and Creatio. Harjot, Federica, how are you doing? How's Canada going?
We're doing very well, and we're really excited to talk about the capabilities of Creatio integrating with Jack Henry today. Looking forward to talking about that.
Yeah, very happy to see you, everyone. Very much.
Thank you, guys. And we also have technology advisor Sam Biardo from Chicago, Illinois. Sam is our long-term partner, level 5 partner, and integrator guru. Sam, how are you doing?
Great here. Nice warm inside.
Nice and warm. Good, good. All right, we are going to the agenda, and in a couple of moments, I'll start sharing the screen with the slides of the first speaker. But please, if you have any questions to Workato, to Sam, even to Creatio, we have Mike Udin, the head of the marketplace, technical wing of Creatio here. Any questions you have, any requests you have, even not related to maybe to the current topic, we're all here to get some answers to some questions and get more information. Without any further ado, it's my pleasure to, again, and delighted to kick off with the first speaker, Workato, Intelligent Platform Automation. Excited to welcome Chris, talk about the integration between our platforms. Chris, the floor is yours. Please introduce yourself. Please introduce Workato, and please talk to us about your vision on how Workato can bring Creatio clients and Creatio partner ecosystem to the next level with your solution. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex. Appreciate the warm welcome, and thank you to everybody. And it's great to meet you all. So, as the slide says, Chris Williamson. I look after the EMEA channel and alliances business for Workato. We work very, very closely with our partners, and equally, we're delighted with the relationship we have with Creatio. So, just a little bit about who we are. So, as you can see, we are a big business. We have over 12,000 customers. We have independent verifications from all of the well-known industry analysts, Gartner, Forrester, TrustRadius. Equally, our platform is really, really designed. It's a fully cloud-native platform. We're a 10-year-old business, and integration and automation is all we do. You know, we aren't a CRM vendor or an ERP vendor that has integration capability. We are a fully independent iPaaS, and our technology is really designed to create an integrated bridge between integration and automation rather than have them as a standalone kind of technology offering. So as you can see, we have a rich heritage in terms of the founders that founded the business 10 years ago. They come from a very, very strong integration and enterprise software background. We have lots and lots of strategic partners, obviously Creatio being a very important one. And as you can see there, we have a lot of customers that are either high growth in their own business or global brands, and there's just a small selection. Next slide, please. So as I said earlier, you know, I'm obviously going to tell you how great I think we are, but you'd expect me to do that. But obviously, to have other independent analysts, you know, it's a very, very competitive marketplace that we play in. But we've had very, very strong leadership credentials in 3 of what we consider to be the kind of top of the, you know, the sort of external market analysis. So as you can see, you know, we are a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for enterprise iPaaS. Aragon take it a slightly different way, where they call it a TPaaS, which is a transformation platform. And then obviously, lastly, Forrester. Again, we're in the leader quadrant for the Forrester Wave for iPaaS. So we're very, very proud of these credentials. We don't take them for granted. They're refreshed very regularly, and we have to go through quite rigorous criteria to maintain or beat the position that we're in. So very, very proud of this. That's just a bit of independent sort of verification. So in terms of what is Workato? So as I've said, we are an integration platform as a service, but equally we are deliberately blurring the lines between integration and automation. And really on the bottom layer there of those building blocks, everything that we have is around application integration. We have a significant amount of what we call branded connectors. And a branded connector, and we have about 1,700 or so, and they're building and growing every day, is where we have a verified interface and an API to the endpoint. And it could be one of, obviously, Creatio in this scenario, where collectively, as two technology partners, we've built an interface that is fully verified by Creatio and Workato. So any updates that happen at either end of that interface connector is basically verified. And anything that changes, that's not your issue, that's our issue. And clearly we would verify and make any changes available to make sure that that interface creates a very, very strong bond. API management is clearly a very prevalent sort of requirement in any sort of transformation. We have a very, very strong API interface, and obviously data, which is the kind of new oil. We can provide lots of different data integration formats, and effectively that's kind of what we call the integration piece. Now, the second piece, I think, is where we differentiate ourselves from some of those competitors that we see in some of those quadrants. And this is by adding in workflows, events, document automation, and obviously enterprise chat GPT, which is a very, very sort of prevalent sort of technology. So integration and automation combined is what we're calling enterprise automation. And then lastly, we have a very, very strong experience, if you like, in terms of chatbot, in terms of co-pilots, where we can bring a lot of that integration and automation to life within an organization with the extensive use of bots, either within Slack or Teams, or obviously within your own branded bot. And all of that provides a really strong experience for the partner or the customer. And clearly what we're trying to do here is bring faster time to value, boost productivity, all within a scalable and flexible, trusted platform. Next slide, please. So the connector library I talked about earlier on, I think this slide always goes out of date even when it's put up. So we have about 1,700 branded connectors. The key thing here is that it's fully supported by Workato. And we're not just a cloud native platform. We have the ability to work on-prem to cloud, cloud to cloud, and on-prem to on-prem. Now, candidly, probably our strength is to work on-prem to cloud and cloud to cloud, because to be honest with you, a lot of the opportunity that we see today is around modernization, whether that be middleware modernization, whether that be CRM modernization, ERP modernization, HR modernization. So a lot of the workloads that we're integrating and connecting to are to really take it from the ground into the cloud. So a lot of the common use cases that we have are very much designed to do on-prem to cloud or cloud to cloud, and we do it very, very well. If there isn't a connector that we have, then we have a very, very sophisticated SDK where you can build one. So we have a lot of partners today, and a lot of customers today that design their own. And again, that becomes fully supported. Next slide, please. So who do we sell to and kind of what do we do? So what we try and do is we try and break that down into the kind of business units within either a commercial customer or an enterprise customer. And I'm not going to go through each of those use cases, but as you can see, we've got a very, very broad range of use cases across different business units within an organization. So some of the ones that I talk about very, very often, marketing and lead routing and campaign automation. We have a very, very strong capability, and we're well known for that kind of marketing automation and campaign automation capability. Some of our competitors use this within their own organization. Clearly, they don't talk too much about that, but we have a very, very strong, capability there. Customer 360, understanding what's going on in the business, around the business, and being able to integrate various different digital channels or analog channels into a 360-degree view of the customer. HR, onboarding, offboarding, joining, mover, leavers, that sort of stuff. I think we're all probably still surprised today that not many companies have a sophisticated, integrated offboarding, onboarding capability. It's a necessity, it's a must-have. Finance, clearly, they count the money and obviously very, very important. But again, we provide a very sophisticated recruitment bot, if you like, for want of a better phrase, where we can take right from Greenhouse into Workday, into DocuSign, into provisioning applications and hardware, all within a bot that's fully automated. And then lastly, R&D and IT ops, a lot of different use cases there. And we have things like license optimization and making sure people are not overusing their licenses, and we can do all of that within the platform. So that's just a very, very, very quick run through of some of the use cases that Workato has. You'll see a bit more when Austin does the demo, but a recipe for us is a very, very, very important part of how Workato works and how powerful our platform is. So as you can see, a lot of it is event-based. There's a huge amount of logic within the way that a recipe is built. We obviously built smart connectors, and as I said earlier, we can connect to anything. And there's lots of ways that we can obviously keep everything enterprise grade secure. So data masking, data retention, etc., etc. So Austin will go through a bit more about the recipe, but I just wanted to explain what it was because you're going to probably hear a lot about it. Next slide, please. And then lastly, what does kind of good look like? Good probably looks like something like that. So that's where we have, you know, a better together story with Creatio and Workato. We can provide a fully integrated customer experience. You know, we are a fully independent iPaaS with automation capabilities. And, you know, if you look at that slide, I think we can all resonate that that can look a small customer, a medium-sized customer, or a large customer. Probably the logos that sit around it are different, but we can provide a much better together kind of proposition, integrating into any ERP. And I think a lot of things today are not about a lift and shift proposition. This is either about a migration or a coexistence. And migration and coexistence for us are really, really key. So we can provide a really great proposition to move at the right pace, whether it be fast, slow, any type of complexity is great for us. And I think there's a great opportunity, you know, for Creatio and Workato and its partners to work together to create that integrated customer experience. So my contact details are on the next slide, but I'm going to hand over to Austin now, who can show you the platform and bring it to life.
Austin, please share your screen. It's time for demo. Chris, we'll have questions to you, so don't go far away. Austin,
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I don't know what time zones are like. For me, it's pretty early in the morning, so I'm just going to say good morning. What we've dove into right away is one of those things Chris talked about, a recipe, right? At Workato, we love our chef and cooking analogy, so bear with me here, but we're going to slice and dice some data. So a recipe is effectively an automated workflow, right? Recipes are two parts. There's some sort of action, trigger, event. Every 5 minutes, like this one says, I'm going to go do something, or maybe it says, hey, I'm going to listen to this system and explicitly perform an operation when I hear an event from something like a webhook or some sort of automation firing, right? So everything that happens after the trigger is really the meat and potatoes. Yes, more food analogies. So in this specific demo, what I've done is I've done something very quick. What we do is say, great, we're going to look for updated opportunities. If any of those opportunities have been marked closed won, we're going to do a very simple sync between Creatio and NetSuite, right? This leans sort of into that finance area of use cases, very close to an order to cash solution, something Chris had highlighted. So you can see we're able to use our Creatio connector. This is built against the API of Creatio to make it very easy to push and pull data from the system. To go ahead, grab some data from accounts, from contacts, we can perform some simple logic to say, hey, great, have we synced this with NetSuite or not? And we're able to go ahead and use our NetSuite connector all the same. Again, very simple. Everything's very click into, drag and drop to push data from Creatio into NetSuite, right? So what I'm going to go over here and do is I'm logged into my Creatio trial account. I'm already on an opportunity. I'm going to mark this as closed won, hit save. And over here, we actually have a recipe running. It's the exact same one. Some neat things about recipes inside of Workato is even if you're not a developer, not a highly technical person, you're still able to get the kind of visibility that normally only the technical team has, right? I can look at all of the previous runs of my recipe. Hey, maybe something failed a long time ago and I want to go look at that, for example. Everything that is being done in here is something I can see. So I'm going to let this run for a little bit and actually go back to where I was editing that first recipe. Another differentiator here, and something that I think is probably the coolest part, is I'm not a developer, yet I can go quickly iterate on this process and make changes, right? If there's one thing we all know in the business side, it's that processes are constantly changing to meet new demands and new needs. So for example, it says, okay, yeah, Austin, it's all fine and good that this does customer and contact syncing, right? But what if I need a sales order created? Adding another step to this recipe is super simple. All I have to do is click that plus button, click add an action, click on my NetSuite section. I'm going to go ahead and say, I want to create something. Oh, and what do you know? Because Workato is seeing that I'm doing some account and contact syncing inside of NetSuite, it's noticed that we're pulling opportunity records. Part of our recipe helpers know that this is likely a finance use case. So it's prompting me to say, hey, look, do you want to create a sales order? Yes, I do. So all I have to do is click that. And then from here, you can see that, again, we're making interacting with a system that is typically very hard to integrate with very simple. I now have access to all of the different sales order fields inside of my NetSuite account. You can see there's 362. It can be very granular. It can be very simple, right? Any of the ones I want, I can just click a few of these. They're going to show up as inputs on my recipe now. And I can say, great, I'm going to go ahead and start mapping data to these. So being very agile, being very iterative inside of Workato is something that is extended beyond technical resources. It's something that you, me, any of the people on this call could very quickly learn and perform without much training. Now, let's go back to that other running job we looked at before, and we can see that, okay, great, there was something that was running. And we can see, oh, this is the previous one. Let's go back here. We should be processing one now. Let's check. 0 jobs. Well, that's okay. Nonetheless, this one is something that you can see it's running every 5 minutes, checking for those opportunities. We've got some filters. And when, of course, it does pick up something fun, it syncs that data over to NetSuite. In here, you can see some of my previous tests from yesterday, right, where I've actually done some of the syncing from Creatio into these NetSuite customers. We're also creating these contacts. You can see Apex Solution is one of those accounts from my system here. I go over here and click it. You can also see that that NetSuite ID has actually made it back into the Creatio system. Now these two records are intrinsically linked. You're never going to have that mistake again. You're never going to have to worry about any of that manual data transfer. That's it from the technical side of my demo, but does anybody have any questions about anything they've seen so far?
I can't hear any questions, but if we'll have any, we definitely will go through you. But as of now, I would like to thank you. It was pretty much interesting. I have. Marketing just gave me a quick, like, what is the custom, what do you have for custom fields, I believe the question is. The question is from Kim Costa.
Yeah, the question is just if you have custom fields in NetSuite, for example, that you had that list of, I think you said 362 sales order fields. What if you want to map to a custom field in NetSuite? How would you do that?
That included them. So that included them. When we go ahead and pull that list of fields, we're using the NetSuite API to pull all available fields from the API. So if the API can interact with it, it's going to show up on that list, including the custom ones.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We also have a question from our partner from New Jersey, Will Zabrak from Metrix Solutions. Typical customer profile or size? Chris, I think more commercial question. I think it's more to you.
Yeah, I can say that one. So, I mean, typical customer, any industry, so we're cross-industry, profile and size. I mean, you know, we wouldn't be a kind of, you know, 5 to 30 employees because candidly, they probably would not necessarily have the budget. But I would say, you know, we're very much on the large of SME, very much into mid-market and large enterprise. So, yeah, we have customers of very, very different sizes.
Right. Thanks, Chris. We also have a question from Mohammed Wadirni. Do you support triggers from Creatio?
Yes, there is a way you can configure Creatio to send webhooks to a Workato recipe to get those real-time event notifications.
Excellent. By the way, Mohammed, if you have additional questions on that, please just ping in chat, guys. They will be glad to provide you with more information if you have some specific trigger details.
Yeah.
The question is
I'll
about.
answer those, Alex, in the chat rather than hold the call up. I'll answer those in the chat now.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you very much.
No, Chris, don't go far away. We still have a couple of minutes. Quick question about the pricing policy.
Okay, so I think what so we don't charge per connector. The way that we license our platform currently is on a per recipe basis, and we have what we call workspaces that are the platform costs. So it's a big differentiator in the market. Most integration platforms charge per endpoint. We don't. We charge per recipe.
You charge per
have
recipe.
any number of endpoints within it.
Okay, got it. Because Olivia Nelliger is having a question. What factors influence the price?
Yeah.
And we have lots of sales people today on this call, also from Creatio, not only from Partner Network.
Yeah.
And we want to better understand what's the average check here, how we can start talking or nurturing our potential clients already with this integrating platform that is partnering with Creatio. So give us more information here.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of price, the way that we approach any sort of opportunity is that we have what we call two different workspaces, and the workspaces have different functionality within them. So let's say we keep it in a basic workspace, and then let's say we want to have maybe kind of 10 recipes. The kind of rough pricing on that would be kind of $15,000 to sort of $20,000 is probably the kind of ballpark figure. But the questions that we ask to determine, what is the right workspace and how complex are those recipes going to get is where the price can sometimes vary. Now, our pricing model, we review it very, very regularly. And the way that we're going to potentially move forward is on a consumption basis. So, it comes with a different number of workspaces that will include a lot of different features and functionality. So the enterprise workspace, for example, will include our on-prem agent. It will include a lot about our enterprise workbots, and it will be a very sophisticated, complex platform. And at that point, we would then also price it by tasks. And a task, Austin, maybe you'll probably explain it better than I will, but a task is effectively a job, if you like, that runs through the platform.
Yeah, right.
Consumption units effectively. So it's a consumption-based model. So data transactions through the platform, many data transactions happen within a recipe. Those are calculated based on the use case. You could also in some ways say, well, a use case also can drive cost too. So
right. It will be really appreciated if you can share some link into the chat about the description of your pricing policy for our team, because for example, Olga Hoot is asking right now about the cost of the connector, but I believe connector is free. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. Connector is ready, it's free, but it's not on our marketplace yet.
Correct. So the connectors, so when you buy a workspace and then you buy a number of recipes, what you're actually given access to is every single connector within our library. So if it's a public connector, you get access to it. So there's up to, like I say, 1,700 connectors. You don't pay for a connector. You're paying for the platform usage, and then today is the number of recipes consumed. I can see the question now about how many recipes is the typical integration. It depends on the complexity of the recipe, but you can get quite complex with one recipe. And we often sell them either in single recipes or bundles of 10. So our average deal size, just so that you can probably get an idea, is between 30 and 45K.
Got it. All right. Chris, thank you very much for joining us today on the call. Thank you for your presentation. Austin, great demo. Excited to hear more about the future success. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And if we have more questions, and I think there is like some other questions keep coming in chat, please respond them directly. There are some questions about failed jobs, etc. But right now, I think it's time for us to go to our next speaker today. And we have Harjot and we have Federico talking about the Henry Symitar Connector. Gentlemen, the floor is yours. I would like you still to introduce yourself, though I think our partner community knows Solutions Metrix, but really appreciate it if you can introduce yourself both and go through the connector. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex, for the warm welcome. Hi, everyone. My name is Harshjot. I'm managing the operations at Solutions Metrix, and I'm joined by Federico.
Hi everyone, my name is Federico. I am the Technical Delivery Center Manager for Solution Metrix. Been working with Creatio for more than 8 years. So we have a long trip together. I'm very happy to have this presentation with you.
Nice to have you here.
Today,
Without any further ado, please quickly introduce your values, and let's go for more details about the connector. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alex. So Solutions Metrix, we are a level 5 partner, but we always start with talking about our values because they're very near and dear to us. They're actually printed on our walls in the office. So customer wow, we want to make sure that all our customers, have that customer wow factor on our implementations. Adaptability, help first, because we know things change, things evolve. So we want our people to be adaptable. And so that's how we work with our customers. Help first and fun and team spirits. These are at the base of how we live, breathe, and work every single day, and not only amongst ourselves as a team, but also with our customers. So if you can move on the next slide. Thanks. And a little bit about Metrix. We are 60+ employees and growing. We're almost hiring, on a monthly basis, if not weekly. We have 150+ professional certifications that not only includes Creatio certifications, but also CSM, PSPO, project management certification, and so on and so forth. We've done over 400 implementations and projects over the last 15 years, and we've been serving the Americas, primarily in Canada and the US. Our expertise consulting consists of not only CRM consulting and business best practices, but also helping our customers with solution architecture, marketing automation, integration, process optimization, and so on and so forth. Like I said before, we are partner level 5 of Creatio. We were also the partner of the year last year and the year before. And something that's not here, we're also a value integration partner with Symitar. That's a VIP partner that you need to have the credentialization in order to build or integrate with the Symitar system. This is a brief list of our Creatio clients. Obviously, we have a lot more. And moving to the next slide, these are our clients in the space of credit union and banking. Why is it important? Because we're talking today about Jack Henry Symitar, and we'll talk a little bit more about on what that product is. But we've worked with, as you can see, our multiple credit unions, financial institutions, be it community banks or wealth management organizations. And that brings me into what is Jack Henry Symitar, first of all. For those who don't know, it is one of the most used core banking platform that's used by financial institutions, majorly credit unions and regional banks, to capture or store their member information. While it is one of the most heavily used solution or core banking system, it does miss certain aspects of what is needed in the companies of today to manage their customer experience. The primary one being a customer-centric view. So since it is a core banking system, it is more membership-centric as a platform and as a solution. And that's why we've built the Jack Henry Symitar Connector, to be able to convert that membership-centric view to a more member-centric view within Creatio, to give that 360-degree view to our customers. What are some of the use cases solved by the connector? Before we go into the actual demo, I would like to talk about it. First of all, you converted your member view, or I'm calling it member because in the financial institution space, especially credit unions, they don't call it customers, they call it more members. So converting from an account-centric view to a 360-degree member-centric view. So our connector not only just takes information and puts it in Creatio, but it also does a transformation from an account to a member-centric view. It's a flexible and robust way to perform member identification using Creatio's no-code solution. member servicing, and other workflows, because core banking platforms are great, for managing their financial information. But then there are a ton of workflows, a ton of business processes that are needed with these financial institutions every single day. Those are all that can be built within Creatio. However, at the base, there's data. And while we bring the data through the connector, then we can use that data to run all those workflows. We've also seen our customers being able to build Can you go back?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry. With this, data is coming in Creatio. We can also build hyper segmentation and targeted campaigns. Our customers can build upsell and cross-sell strategies, including next best offer using the right information that's coming through the connector, and streamlining and standardizing member life cycle with manual and automated touch points. So one is the connector coming into Creatio with the right information. Then with that information, we can, and using the power of Creatio, we can build all these capabilities for our customers. Can you please go to the next slide, please, Alex? So this is some of the screenshots, which obviously we will go into more detail with Federico, but this is one of the views of the customer-centric view from what you see in Creatio compared to what you see in Symitar. I've added a few screenshots, but I've not spent too much time on the screenshot, because you will see it live in action. And if you can go quickly through the screenshots, Alex, just for everybody, this is more of the accounts and the shares that are brought over by from the Symitar connector. And moving on to the next one, this is more of the membership view. And I'll talk a little bit about what is the difference between the member and the membership and the accounts. That we'll do more in the demo session, but just keep in mind, it's not the same as we look at other systems. So, and then within the membership as well, we see all that information coming into Creatio. Okay, now we'll move on to the demo, and we have a lot of things to talk about in the demo, and my friend Federico will be presenting or sharing his screen rather. So as you can all, so as you can all see, this is the member, or this is rather the Creatio screen. So this is all the member specific information or the customer specific information that's brought by the Symitar connector into Creatio. As you can see, there's on the left information about the specific member, but more importantly, there's also all the portfolio information that comes from Symitar into Creatio. All of these are details, as most of the partner community is aware of, and then you can click in and see more information for a specific member. So just before, Federico, you go further into it, I'd just like to take a minute to explain our partner community how the information is structured. So there is a member record, which is obviously unique in Creatio, that provides the customer-centric view within Creatio. Every member of these credit unions can have multiple memberships, which means multiple accounts, right? We call it membership/accounts. Each account might have a bunch of loans, a bunch of shares, a bunch of debit cards, a bunch of online banking features that a member is entitled to. So there is 3 levels of information that's structured in Creatio. One is the member, then there's memberships, that's called the accounts. And then within each membership, you have the loans, shares, cards, and so on and so forth. So in this portfolio view that you're seeing on this page, at the top, you see the account. That's basically membership. But what we do is we take all the shares, all the loans, if there were multiple accounts, and bring it in a member-centric view in Creatio, while still maintaining that relationship to the account. So from a member page, if you were to go on accounts, which is the membership of Symitar, if you open one account, you will see for this specific account or for this specific membership, there is loans, there is shares, there's what kind of cards does the member have. And if you keep scrolling down, there's more information. And then there's notes and comments. These notes and comments are very important for financial institutions, because that's really where they keep all the critical information about the customer. For example, if you see in one of the comments, is a potential client for a loan, don't offer car assurance. These are just some of the notes that are entered by anybody within the financial institution, and that's available for the member servicing agents to see. Also, some of the notes that are entered, we bring all of that from Symitar as well. So any member service representative has a full view of the member, not only the basic demographic information, but also the important notes that help them serve the client better. The next step is the joint members. So as you know, there can be multiple customers associated to an account. So this also builds a relationship from one account, which are the different members associated to that. And then there is additional information and warnings, which are also important. This is some more information from Symitar and warnings, which are important while the member identification is happening. So one of the warnings, as we can see, is delinquent loan. This is something that can be used by the call center reps or the in-branch reps to have better conversations with the customers. So all this information is brought into Creatio through the connector. And now we'll move more into the Symitar look and feel to show you how the connector actually works. So for those who are not, who haven't seen this before, this is Symitar, Jack Henry Symitar solution. This is typically what is used by a lot of credit unions to serve their members. So we'll just do a quick, example of how changing information within Symitar gets updated real time within Creatio, so that there is no lag in the updated information being available in Creatio. So what Federico did is he changed some information in Symitar, and typically this is the process that they follow. Yeah, I see the smile on Alex's face. That's how the notes interface is in Symitar, and that's why we realized there's no point in doing all of this in Symitar. So as you enter the note, as you change that information in Symitar, what's important is that all the service representatives who are using Creatio to assist with their customers, they would be seeing that reference being updated, and also the detail will be also updated in the notes as well. So you see, Creatio is amazing. So that all gets updated real time in Creatio with this connector. Now, few things that are also important to mention here is this connector is a yearly cost, and the reason why this has a yearly cost is because we are continuously updating and enhancing the connector. Right now, we have a bunch of information that we believe, with our experience of implementation, is important for all the credit unions to bring into the system. But as we continue to enhance this connector, we're going to be adding more information and doing more transformation of information to be presented in Creatio. The other thing that also I would like to mention is there is also something called a power on script that we have developed because of our VIP partnership with Jack Henry. That only the VIP members are eligible for that, and we have built that in partnership with Jack Henry. What does that power on script do? That power on script will update the entire database of Creatio from Jack Henry, and that can be done on every 1 hour or 2 hours format. So you can also do all your analytics and reporting on the Creatio platform. In absence of that, what you do is every time you open an account, it gets updated real time. However, we want to also have that feature in Creatio where you are not only servicing your members from Creatio, but you're also using Creatio's dashboarding capabilities to be able to make decisions on how and what strategies need to be built from the data coming from Symitar. Now, how does that power on script work? We use SymExchange. For those who know the Symitar ecosystem, they have something called SymExchange, which is the integration layer. And we use SymExchange to be able to pull that information in Creatio. And that power on script is installed in the Jack Henry instance of the customer. So if you have a customer that's using Jack Henry, we need to install this power on script into their instance. We have built a package on our side with all the object model and fields that gets installed on Creatio, and then this connector, which connects directly to the Symitar environment of the customer. So these three components are what needs to be installed on any project to be able to make this this connector work properly and to its full potential. So That's in a nutshell what that connector looks like. But the floor is open to any questions that you may have.
Yeah, the questions is quite well, but we have lots of sales people here on this call. We just need to drive into a pricing question. So, Harjot, can you elaborate, Federico, any examples? Thank you.
Yes, so it's a standard. By the way, the connector is published on the marketplace, Creatio marketplace. It is $10,000 per year. The first initial cost of $10,000 includes the installation of the connector and some basic configuration to make sure it's working. And then from there, $10,000 every year for our team to continue to enhance the connector, including the power on scripts that are being worked on to make sure this integration works as seamlessly as possible.
Harjot, quick question about the basic configuration. You know, everything is in details, and we have lots of partners who are working in the financial industry today, and they were looking forward for this Symitar integration connector. What is basic? And
so basic configuration means working with the customer to get accesses to be able to install the power on script within their environment, to be able to deploy the solution within the customer's Creatio instance, and to be able to connect Creatio with Symitar using our API model that we have built. So all that including testing. So by the time we leave our customer, they have a working integration between Jack Henry Symitar and Creatio with all the components of our solution installed.
Right, and since right now we have this marketplace circle and we always shoot some special promos, Harjot, Federico, any incentives for our partners or for our sales guys on the call? Will you be willing to give some discounts for the first ones who will reach out to you and ask for this connector in place? Any special deals today?
Absolutely. And knowing, how big of an integration is needed, we could definitely offer percentage discounts based on our partners. We want our partners, customers as well to be able to benefit from Creatio's capabilities. And this is a very quick way or a fast way in order to making that happen. So yes, a percentage discount that could be anywhere between 10 and 50 could be applied to, any of our partners who have this use case that need to be implementing this for their customers.
Right. We have some other questions in chat, and we have a question about any plans for any integrations with other core banking solutions?
Absolutely. So we've already advanced in our building this connector with FISA DNA, which is the other heavily used core banking system. We've also been working on the LOS systems with respect to Encompass and Meridian Link, and we're also advancing those integrations. The intent is for us to build a strong connector ecosystem in the credit union and regional banking space with Creatio, so that all the customers can really benefit Creatio's capabilities and not having to worry about how the data is going to make its way into Creatio.
Right. Quick question from your experience: how long does it take to implement and configure the solution for a particular customer?
Oh, so if without the absence of an actual connector?
Yes.
We've done it for 2 customers before we built the connector, and there's a reason we built that. It took us anywhere between 1 to 2 months to be able to do that, because we have to keep in mind it is not just a lift and shift. It is an actual transformation of the data model between Symitar and Creatio. And moreover, our experience working with financial institutions also made us understand what information is really critical and what information does not need to make its way, so that all the processes and workflows that need to be built have the right information available. So that's really the value that our customers get by implementing.
So 1 month, 2 months, clear. What about now? If we have this connector right now in place, if we have a partner, let's say one of our partners in Europe, and they are willing to use your connector, what is the duration that you tentatively say to the client size?
Honestly, the time takes in getting all the right accesses in place. Once the accesses are in place, you're looking at a week.
That's it, right?
A week.
Great. All right. Any other questions? Dear marketing team, please let me know if we have any other questions that I want to answer on the chat. If no, I really would like to thank today Federico and Harjot for a wonderful presentation of a long-expected connector that all our partner community who is working with the FinServ was waiting for. Federica, great job. Harjo, thank you very much. I look forward to receiving your roadmap. Let's review roadmap, more connectors to create in the financial industry, because it's all about connectors sometimes when you talk to technical questions. But thank you guys, appreciate it. Thank you for jumping on our call today, and have a wonderful day in Canada. And we're flying a bit south. We're flying to Chicago, Illinois. We have Sam Biardo, CEO and founder of Technology Advisors, who is today with us as well. Sam, how are you doing again? Are you still with us?
I am still with you guys.
Thanks, Sam. Sam, the floor is yours. Please introduce yourself, please introduce your company, and please introduce the Connect powered by StarfishETL of Creatio. Thank you.
Sure. So Connect Creatio is actually powered by Starfish, and it is a Creatio specific version of Starfish. It uses the Starfish engine underneath it, and we like to say it has limitless integrations because we don't put any limits on the product itself. So we charge by the integration, but we have a limit on, or I should say, we have a version that is unlimited integrations.
Excellent.
Our next slide. Okay, you're there. Platform. So it's what we have is a solution which is a iPaaS solution, but also an on-premise ETL solution. So we can run it in both modes. It is very low code. All you do is connect to your source and destination, and all the available data shows up, and you can start building your maps in your integration. To help you, though, we have pre-built a tool. We have a tool called Stitch that builds out migration and integration maps. So we have starter migration maps for Creatio from products like Infor or from Salesforce or Microsoft, Sugar, for example. We also have a set of starter integrations that are built using our stitching tool. And then we have a design tool called the Cartographer, a map builder, so to speak, that we use to build out pure custom integrations. And we have got our tool down pretty much to a science. So if we already have a starter package, you're only looking at a few days to a week to build out that migration or integration. And if you have to start from scratch, you're probably looking at just over a week to build out an integration using Starfish. And if you don't even have a connector, you might be looking at 2 weeks, because we can build connectors in a week on the low end to maybe 2 to 3 weeks on the high end. Next slide. We were well received by G2 because G2 is crowdsourced. These are our customers telling G2 how much they like us. And the first thing we're really proud of is that we hit the high performer in all 3 categories: enterprise, mid-market, and SMB. But then there are other things in the fall we got awards for. For example, best results, easiest to do business with, best support, highest user adoption, and so on. Next slide.
Excellent. Congratulations, Sam.
And your slides and my slides are different, so I'll go off of this one. Go back. Yeah, so we work with right now over 400 connectors at this point. We also support Open API that works with the Open API framework, and we have an SDK, a toolkit that allows us to build brand new connectors in a matter of weeks. Do you have anything else on this? Because I have a totally different slide. Nope. Can I share my slide?
Yeah, you just start sharing your screen and start sharing your slide will be perfect.
Okay.
Just share your screen and show your slide. Sam, do you have rights to share the screen?
I don't know. I'm going to find out in a second. Give me 1 second.
Well, take your time. But try to be fast.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay.
You know, Sam, in these situations, I say no rush, no push, but let's go.
Yeah, well, so this is the one slide that you don't have, which shows some of the integrations we've built already out of the gate, and then I'll let you take control again. We have migrations from to Creatio from CSV, Act, Goldmine, Infor, Freshwork, Oracle, HubSpot, SAP Hybris, Pipedrive, Sugar, vTiger, Zoho CRM, and Salesforce already built out as templates. And then we have integrations with hundreds and hundreds of products, and this is just some of them that we have out there, including like SAP HANA, which is really popular. So I'll let you share, assuming there's no more differences.
No problem. So then
okay, yeah, I don't know why that one slide didn't come out the way mine looked.
That's all right, Sam. I'm sharing the screen back from my side.
I gotcha. Yeah. So we have no limits on our pipes, and so we have a very flexible way of doing our scheduling. So we can run in almost any way you want to think about. We can run nightly, we can run hourly, we can run every 5 weeks, we can run every other Tuesday, we can run once a month. We have our own API that supports webhooks, so we can do real time. We have we run very fast. So when we're running on premise, we're running at about 700 milliseconds per transaction. When we're running in the cloud, we're limited by basically the API, the network connection. So, but typically we see it running about 1 second to 2 seconds for a company with a very fast pipe to Starfish. But we have companies like Motorola that are processing up to 1 million transactions a day using Starfish. So we really feel this is one of our value points. We also support multi-threading. So you can actually thread up to about 100, but realistically, you want to thread maybe no more than 5 or 6 jobs at one time. And that also processes rather quickly. We support just a ton of different transformations. So you can move data over as is, but we have a series of built-in functions that let you translate things. So if I have a date that's in a text field and you want it to be a date, we have multiple ways we can do that. We have tools that if you don't have a key, we can generate a hash key so we can identify if the record has changed quickly. We have the ability to track previous jobs by embedding in breadcrumbs, and so we can follow up and look at when a particular batch import, for example, happened. And then if we don't have a built-in function, you can build your own. So we support multiple scripting languages: VB Script, C#, Java, and Python. We have some custom templates already pre-built. I went over all the customs for migration, but for integration, we have starter templates for Sage 300 and 100, QuickBooks Online, Microsoft Dynamics, Field Operation, and Business Central. This ugly thing in here is Business Central, by the way. Exact Online, Xero, and HubSpot Marketing. And that's all because we have a stitching engine, and our stitching engine supports. So the way stitching engine works is we create a template based on software patterns between 2 different classes of systems. So we have stitching for CRM to CRM. That's how we build out all those pre-built migrations. We have a stitching engine for ERP to CRM. CRM to e-commerce, and CRM to marketing automation. So by using that stitching engine, we can rapidly build out starter templates for people. And we also run at AWS in the cloud, but you can run it also on premise. We have a tool called Ray that allows Starfish to actually run behind a firewall with a legacy system and still connect to our cloud version. But then we also have a on-premise complete version. So if customers have on-premise solutions and they need an on-premise integration, we have a version of Starfish that they can use to run in their environment.
Thanks, Sam. Let's move forward.
We are fully scaled. We have no limits on APIs. We support both for Creatio, both APIs, including bulk load, so we can perform rather quickly. And we're priced basically on the connector, not on the map. So our most common integration is $400 a month. That is for the actual company price, but we top out at $2,000 a month. And that's unlimited integrations, unlimited transactions, everything without a limit.
And what the special condition, even for unlimited or limited, have you brought any deals for us today? Yes, I did. So if you go to the Connector.com, or you go to learn more about it, or if you go to the cartographer.cloud, which is our development tool, you can get a free license of Starfish. And we are offering a discount of 25% on our migration mapping classes and our map mentoring class and our connector mentoring class. Thanks,
so
Sam. Like we spoke to Workato today, we spoke to Solutions Metric guys. What is your approach? How Starfish provide consultations as part of the installation of the connector? Do you provide any consultancy, like once somebody is getting your connector, what kind of services you also provide to assist other partners or clients for creation?
The mentoring is actually training for the partner. So we train partners on how to be self-sufficient. But if they want to outsource to us, we have an outsourcing program that they can use. If the connector has if we see a connector that we feel has a significant value to the marketplace, we will build that out at our expense. So it really is, we work with partners very well.
Okay, Sam, anything on your roadmap that is critical and you're like working with your team to deliver the connector in the nearest time?
Right now, we're focused, like Solution Metrics, on banking. And so we are building out a series of connectors around for the banking industry using our connector toolkit.
Excellent. Sam, thank you very much for jumping on our call today. We appreciate your participation with other speakers. Our time is out. And I would like to thank you for all the wins and your dedication to Creatio being level 5 and doing all the job with us. Chris, Harjot, Federico, and Sam, once again, thank you for interesting insights. Thank you for the demos. Thank you for sharing this information and for the special offers. If you are our new partner or existing partner, but still got very cool ideas or would like to promote your solution, please out to Anna. Are you with us?
Yes, sure. So if you would like to be the speaker for our upcoming Marketplace Circle, the next one, please just let me know and I'll be happy to include you to the list.